Puls8 Radio.
What? What's that, Martin? Oh, no, doesn't matter. Series 2, episode 15. I wasn't sure whether you were saying something. What? He is. Is he? I don't know. It's Norman Collier. There he is. Yeah. There he is. Series 2, episode 15. Mine's turned into Norman Collier. We've got... who could you be, Phil? You could be...
Rod Hall. I went up on the roof to adjust my aerial with Emu.
Thank goodness.
And ended up falling off.
I thought you said Stuart Hall for a second. We'll ignore that bit and just move on very quickly.
Yeah. Well, mind you, a grown man putting a hand up a big bird's bum. I mean, it's not something you probably would want to say on the radio.
No. We'll have to edit that bit out as usual. But anyway,
not these days, anyway.
Oh, good Lord,
no.
How nice to see you all, and how to have such an unusual start to the show. It is.
It's not the start of the show.
It's the autumn. I've got my sweater on. I can't believe
it
turned into autumn mid-August. What on earth is happening, lads? This is ridiculous. Going on.
It must be Rose-on-Sea. Must have a different temperature.
We have, but it's the Caribbean of the North, Rose-on-Sea. Normally we've got palm trees and everything up here. I've got a banana tree in my garden. Normally it's really warm, but it's not at the moment. What on earth?
No,
it's not right.
No.
It's boiling in Leicester.
Is it?
As they say around here, Leicester. Yeah,
Leicester.
That's how they speak round here. They go Osdor instead of Asda. No, instead of Nana.
These are fascinating facts. Fascinating facts for anybody from the area.
How's your bananas?
Oh, I'm sorry.
None of your business, really. But they are growing rapidly, but not ripening.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want an unripe banana, do you?
Perhaps you need to rub them. I don't know. Maybe.
Could be, Martin. Could be. Maybe they need a bit of a magic hand on them. You never know. Possibly that's what it.
That's right.
That is lacking. Should we move on swiftly and start with the show rather than with our general innuendo? Why not? Let's do that. So we've got an amazing show lined up tonight. As always, we've got a special guest a little bit later on introducing something very, very special, a new album that's just come out. Plus, we've got an eclectic, wonderful, warm and very interesting set of music coming up tonight. Again, Martin's done an astounding job of firstly bookending everything and then putting pieces in the middle, which are from the community, from all around the world. We have literally travelled the world and Colwyn Bay.
And Colwyn Bay.
Colwyn Bay. We must not miss out Colwyn Bay, which is a very famous movie. There's been a James Bond from Colwyn Bay. There's been a Lemmy from Motorhead was from Colwyn Bay. Terry Jones was from Colwyn Bay.
Gosh.
Yeah. Colwyn Bay, I tell you, it's the birth of the stars, Colwyn Bay. It really is. It's amazing the people that have come from here. Did you not know all these facts?
No.
No.
Amazing. You're like Steve Wright.
That's not a compliment. Right.
Not in the evening. I didn't say you look like him. No beard.
Any comparison with Steve Wright is not a compliment. So let's move on very quickly. Anyway, so here we are. We have got some amazing music tonight. We really have. And we're going to start off with something absolutely astonishing. I'm going to ask you before each song tonight, chaps, and I've not really preempted this, so I'm going to put you right on the spot. Tonight, we've got the first song coming up is Trent. If I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Trent Moller.
Trent Moller.
The Mash and the Fury, which is an astonishing piece of music. It really is. I will talk about it properly afterwards, but if you were going to settle down and listen to this piece of music, Martin, and enjoy it for the evening, what drink would you settle down with? Is the big.
Well, I'm not drinking at the moment because of my foot, but never mind all the drugs. But if I was, probably a bottle of a Nuki Brown, I think.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, good choice.
Phil?
I'd have a lovely steaming glass of my old mum's cabbage water.
What a treat you had as a child. I was thinking more of a creme de menthe, but that's just me. Tell you what, let's kick into the song and see what everybody else thinks. Just think about your favourite drink as you're listening, because you're going to ask the same question in a couple of minutes on the next song. This is Trent Moller. This is The Mash, The Fury.
Puls8 Radio.
Trent Moller, the Mash and the Fury. Martin, that was astonishing. I mean,
amazing.
Proper amazing piece of music. Where's that from?
Well, ironically, I've been buying a few CDs off eBay, and this is one of the albums. It's from his album called The Great Wide Yonder.
Right.
And I haven't played the album yet. I just got to track 1, and I said, we've got to play this because it is amazing. I've got his first album, which was The Last Resort, which is a fantastic album as well. But I just heard this track. I thought, it's got everything. You know, it's dark. You know, it's minimal. There are sort of subtle melodies, but I think with Trent Moller, it's about the rhythms. It's about the darkness. It's about dark chill. Yeah, it's just amazing. And it's complex, isn't it?
Oh, massively. And again, it was almost like an ambient piece at points as well, but then it starts to build into something absolutely massive, doesn't it, Phil?
Yeah. And I've got an interesting fact for you, which may or may not be true. But his name was inspired by Bohemian Rhapsody.
Really?
Trent Moller, we will not let him go. Let him go. Trent Moller. But that might not be true.
Yeah.
But back to the track.
True. Yeah.
The track's called The Mash and the Fury, and you can hear that pan of spuds starting to boil at the beginning of the track. And then the agitated tubas start banging against the aluminium and the stainless steel. And then eventually, out of somewhere near the end, comes some surf rock guitar, which harkens a creamy finish. All that bubbling and banging disappears away, and you end up with the mash.
And that's why I wanted my creme de menthe for that creamy finish. Exactly.
I like a creamy finish.
Creme de menthe for the creamy finish.
Exactly. Not now, Arthur. Not now. But yeah, absolutely. What a wonderful
what a fabulous track.
It really was, wasn't it? So is it, again, I don't know anything about Trent Moller. I did a little look up before, and I can see that Trent Moller's relatively well known, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he's a Danish producer, but yeah, he's also Anders Trent Moller. He's as well as producing his own music, he does lots of mixes for well-known artists such as Röyksopp, Savages, The Mission. The Mission did they released Tower of Strength last year as a tribute to the NHS, I think it was, and he did a special remix of the Tower of Strength by The Mission. So he's a go-to guy for doing remixes for well-known artists.
Brilliant,
as well as his own music. Yeah,
amazing piece of music. So again, is Bandcamp the best place to try and find more Trent Moller?
No, not Bandcamp. It's TrentMoller.com.
TrentMoller.com.
And you'll find him. Yeah.
There we go. TrentMoller.com. Let's look at more TrentMoller.com. That was fantastic. Thanks very much indeed for letting us play that. So we're moving out of Trent Moller and our creme de menthe into another great piece of music. I've got to say, we know we say this every single week, but crikey, what a set of tunes we've got tonight. Listen, again, anybody who's not actually subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, because what we're doing now is we're releasing a song pretty much every other day that we've played on previous shows. So if you've not heard songs before, if you don't want to listen to the whole show, that's fine. But we're releasing songs on an ongoing basis from featured artists, and there are some amazing pieces of music. So every day, pretty much, you're getting a brand new song that you're able to listen to on our YouTube channel. So please do subscribe and listen to that, because there's genuinely some amazing amateur music out there, which is just phenomenal, which we're just releasing all the time. So next up, we're going to chat about it on the other side, but this is beautiful. This is Future Perfect. This is Sin. I'm going to put the brackets in, Where Angels Fall.
Followed by lies, our assaulting spiral tear through darkened skies. A scene of tear falls, but no one cries. Spiritual price tags are paid for. further hardship and begin to fall. Was it all worth it for just one night? And now you see your past life is hidden far from sight. This is what happens when angels fall. Redemption won't come for you, won't care for you at all. A single lifetime and an endless soul. This is what happens when angels fall. This is what happens when angels fall. Redemption won't come for you, won't care for you at all. A single lifetime and an endless soul. This is what happens when angels fall.
Future Perfect, Sin, amazing. I mean, again, it's hard to say much more around these things. A real 80s pop synth feel about that whole song there as well. That was just a real 80s wonderfulness around that. And it reminded me of something. And my wife was here when I was listening to that one, and I was saying to her, that reminds me of things. She was saying the same thing. Neither of us could put our finger on what it was, which is good, because it just gave us that 80s vibe, but we couldn't quite feel what it was, which makes it fairly unique, doesn't it, Phil?
Yeah, I got funny you said that, because I've written down here 80s electro disco and glitterball grooves enter the ears, travel down the spine, energize the dancing pants. So pick up that hairbrush mic, because you're going to need it. It's absolutely spot on sort of 80s, and with a great lyric in there and a great vocal. What's not to like? Absolutely brilliant.
What I should have asked you right at the beginning, though, Phil, is what drink would you have drunk to that if you were drinking a drink to that in the 80s?
Oh, without a doubt, because of it being the 80s, what I used to drink then and get absolutely steaming on it, man. Steaming. Snake bite.
Ooh.
With a bottle of K and lager.
Yeah.
And a wife beater, Stella Artois.
Lovely, jubbly. I'd have had a baby shower. I was a little bit camper than you, but yeah, I would. But I'd have had a few. I'd have had a few or a snowball on the side. What about you, Martin?
Well, as the 80s, my go-to drink when I was going to the pub in my early days was a pint of Red Stripe.
Oh yes,
Jamaican beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
very nice. But
CD disco special.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Go to a CD disco. You could only buy cans of Red Stripe. You knew it was a CD disco if they'd only sold cans. Yeah, there'd be a hatch at the back. Open the hatch. Can a Red Stripe?
You've got it.
£6.
I can see Martin there.
But you could buy the extra strong version of Red Stripe. It's called Crucial Brew, because you don't get drunk, or I can't say it. You don't get absolutely rat-arsed. You can probably say that bit, but you get crucial.
Brilliant.
We've all been to those clubs, and we really have. Martin, what a song though, wasn't it? It was just amazing.
Yeah, well, that's our Colwyn Bay connection.
Was it?
This is Simon Owen, who I think he knows one or two people in the Only Human and Puls8 community. Right. So there's a bit of a connection there, but I can't remember. I think I was talking to somebody else who's putting on a synth gig in mid Wales, and that's how I managed to get the connection. But yeah, so Simon's put the song together for us, which is going to go. It's going to be on his new album. So he started in 2009 with his now ex-wife, and I think I've seen some Facebook posts. He's actually putting it out there to try and get a new keyboard player. I think, and I think they've had I think it's had 3 albums out so far, and you can get them on Bandcamp. futureperfect1.bandcamp.com.
Amazing stuff, just superb. It's amazing the local talent we've got around here. And we had, crikey, was it 2 or 3 shows back? I can't remember. The first song we played in there was from Old Colwyn as well, rather than Colwyn Bay. I'm trying to remember the chap's name. It was utterly astounding. We had the sample from Idris Elba in there.
Oh, Jay Robinson, wasn't it?
Jay Robinson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Astonishing piece of music. And again, we'll release that Jay Robinson song out on the YouTube channel fairly shortly as well, which, if you hadn't heard it, with the Idris Elba samples in there, it's an amazing piece of music.
Absolutely.
But anyway, the Future Perfect Sin, that's astounding. Amazing piece of music. Thank you very much indeed, Future Perfect, for letting us play that as well, Simon Owen. Brilliant. Do look him up on Bandcamp and support him as well. Right, we're coming into it's a friend of the show. It's a good old friend of the show. It's our friend
Paul. Mate.
Yeah, good old friend of the show. It's Paul. It's our friend Probby with a fantastic piece of modular music and a video to go with it as well.
Yeah.
I've got to say, Paul is just... It is amazing what that guy does, because modular is not easy to get a nice tune out of sometimes, and he does achieve something astounding out of it each time. And Phil, if you could have a nice, slow, relaxing drink with Probby's track, what would you have?
Well, I've thought of this one, and what's sprung to mind is quite a rare drink. It's a combination of Baileys with a vodka over some ice. Creamy, exotic, icy, delicate, yet nourishing. Fabulous.
Hard to beat that, really, Martin, isn't it?
How about a nice glass of port? But obviously, port and gout don't go very well together.
No.
But if I could, probably a nice glass of port.
Okay, I'm going to stick with an Advocar, because I'd have to drink it very slowly, because I don't like Advocar, but I'd want to savour it as much as possible, as much as I wanted to savour this song, which is just absolutely awesome. So this is Probby. This is Pearlescence. everything he does is just, and it's just brilliant. But it's so nice that we get a video off Paul Williams, which probably every single time as well. It's just astounding. And Paul's done something amazing with this as well. So Paul's got a new album coming out, hasn't he, Martin? And what's he doing with that new album?
Yeah, well, it's to coincide with his new release, which comes out tonight.
As in when we're broadcasting this show, which is
August
the...
Yes, August 16th, yeah.
So probably is releasing in sync with the show his new album. Thank you very much indeed.
Dark Matter. Dark Matter.
So again, is that Bandcamp that's going out on?
I guess so. Yeah, probby.bandcamp.com.
Okay, yeah. So everything that Probby does is absolutely amazing. If you haven't listened to his stuff before, go back a couple of shows. We played a song of his with a video, maybe show before last, I think it was. But again, this is an amazing piece of music that he's done here tonight. So I wrote down, it's like a wonderful space theme for our time. It's not like an old space theme. You know what I mean? Like you get a retro space theme. This is like a modern space theme that he's done. And it's like an ambient masterclass that he does as well. It's just so beautifully put together and so gently put in there. But the bass line was quite 80s. And I had a feel, and I could be wrong, and I quite often am, I had a feel of David Sylvian about it. Am I wrong, Phil?
I don't think you are. No. And what a good.
Wasn't expecting that, but it could do. Yeah. Bit of a Japanish sort of influence, maybe. Yeah.
Love a bit of David Sylvian.
Yeah. So I think I agree with you with what you're saying, because I actually got a little story today. I sold a 3-tier synth stand to a guy over in Coventry, and he used to be a guitarist, and he's got into synths, and he emailed me after to thank me so much because he thought the stand was so good.
Was he in tears?
I only sold it for 35 quid. It cost me about 150. I've tried to sell it 4 times. Yeah, but he was dead happy. But then he was talking about he was asking about us and what we did, and I told him about the show. And then he said about modular. He said, "I've always fancied modular, but I love making a tune too much, and it always seems to me that it's people who love gear and they can only make a few sounds out of it when they've plugged all them wires in." And I said, "You want to see some of the guys that are on modulator and that, probably being one of them." I said, "I don't know how they do it. They do manage to get something magically musical out of that gear, and it is, it's an incredible skill." But I'll just tell you what I wrote down about this one, because we'll get a bit poetic today. So I put, "Dive through string section clouds thronged with tweeting electronic larks into reverberating thermals, bursting with bubbling percussion, a modular odyssey." That's how I've described this track.
I've got a bit tearful there. Look at that. That was beautiful.
I was listening to it. It's one of those where I nearly nodded off again. It was that mesmerising.
It is a beautiful song, though, isn't it, Martin? There was a beautiful words for the really well, and those described that absolutely perfectly. But come on, Martin, wasn't it?
Well,
astonishing piece of music as always.
It's like an orchestra at the beginning. It's like the orchestra's just getting ready to perform, and the strings are coming in. To me, I thought straight out of. Could it be out of Stranger Things, the TV series? Yeah, and sorry, the JC word possibly has to come up again because that synth bass could, as you said, spacey sound. Maybe Dark Star from by John Carpenter had that sort of beautiful arps, but the melodies. I was how's he do it? It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a skill and an art form really to produce that. It's the same with Etch a Sketch, Rob Dixon.
Absolutely,
it's amazing what they can produce without those. And we had if you look back a few episodes ago, we had an interview with Steve Davis, the ex-snooker player who's now a DJ and also does modular synthesis. And he was saying that he found actually modular synthesis easy to get into because it doesn't matter what you do, you can get a sound out of it. And I did say to him in that interview, that's all very true. But getting a good sound out of it is a different thing altogether. And he did say that's the skill and the art form with it, is actually being able to create something which is listenable out of all of these wires and knobs and all the rest of it. So it's astounding. Probably you do an amazing job at doing that. And we will play your music time and time again. So it's absolutely superb. Right, okay, we're going to have to move on, sadly. Pleasurably, actually, because we've got something, again, amazing coming up. We've got Ocean Man Dazzled. Now, Martin, I know you've got gout. You've mentioned it a number of times. But if you could have an alcoholic drink to drink, and we don't want, that's the last thing anybody needs to see is your toe with your 3 hairs on it. But if you could have an alcoholic drink with the next song, Martin, what would you have? What would it be?
Or because this is a right stonking song, I'll go Pernod Black. How about that?
Oh, you bugger! I was going to have that. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a cracker. It's exactly what it needs. Phil, go on. You're going to have to pull a top trump out here.
That's right. I was trying to desperately think. I think like a cocktail, like a tequila sunrise, something like that. Tangy and beautiful.
It's a good choice. It's not as good as mine and Martin's. Right, okay, barman.
No.
2 Pernaman Blacks, a tequila sunrise for Lady in the Corner.
Okay.
Ocean Man, Dazzled. Here we go. Great choice, Martin. Absolutely superb. That was Ocean Man, Dazzled. To me, and again, it can often be just me, but that to me, that started off a little bit PIL, bit Public Image Limited. This is not a love song.
Maybe, yeah. Well, could maybe possibly, yeah. Well, unfortunately, I got some insight into this one, and
okay, go.
I don't know exactly what it sounds like because I think it sounds a bit like the Amazing Dr. Tentacles. Because Mr. Tenty or Dr. Tenty has put Ocean Man onto us, and so they're obviously pals.
Right. Okay, well, that makes sense.
But yeah, when I heard the start of it, I thought, it's got that feeling to it, and I couldn't get my head around any other song with it for comparison.
Yeah, that is a fair point, actually. But I mean, there's great arps in there again, and there's like a stuttered percussion throughout the whole thing as well, which is really, really cool. I really like that. But now you've said Dr. Tentacles, or the Amazing Dr. Tentacles, I should say. That does make a lot more sense, doesn't it, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down here, a laser beam alien invasion complicated by soaring synths gives way to piano motifs that fade into the void and then return again with gusto. A lot of goodness packed into a short track. It's a very short track. It's only about 3 minutes long.
It is very short, yeah. We want more.
Very accomplished, yeah.
But what a piece of music. I mean, it's amazing. So is Ocean Man also from, because I think Amazing Dr. Tentacles is Texas, is he?
No, Ocean Man's from Turkey, Istanbul.
Blimey.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Martin.
No, it's okay. I'll finish.
Oh, well, that's fine then. In that case, we'll move on. That's your attitude. Right. Okay. But that was amazing. That was Ocean Man Tasseled. Absolutely astonishing piece of music. Thank you very much to the amazing Dr. Tentacles for putting that on to us. And thanks very much for.
Oh, you can. I couldn't find any links to Bandcamp, but that track is actually on his YouTube page, and unfortunately, he hasn't got a URL for Ocean Man, so it's a bit long-winded. If you Google Ocean Man YouTube, I think you'll find him.
Okay, super, brilliant. I'm sure we'll do that. Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Right, we're going to move into the next song. This is a cracker. Right, okay, just quick drinks, please, gentlemen. Time is starting to run out at the bar, so if you're going to get your drinks in quickly for this song, what would it be, Martin? You're rushing to the bar. You've got the best song coming on the stereo that you've ever heard. What's it going to be? Quick, Martin.
Well, if I'm driving, I'll ask for a cappuccino, I think.
Well, I'm going to move on very quickly. Phil.
As it's got a bit of a proggish feel to it, this one, I'd go for a nice pint of Hobgoblin.
Ooh, Hobgoblin, you say? Oh, yes, that's a very good choice indeed. I might just have a little cheeky short. I'll have a little small gin and lemon on its own. End the night off. Here we are. This is it. Here we go. This is Shiobi, A Line in the Sand.
Thank
Wow. That was Showbeat, A Line in the Sand. What a tune again. Martin, how do you keep picking them? It's extraordinary. It really... I literally, all I wrote down for that, I'll tell you first, Phil, because what I wrote down for that, I'd love to know what synth that was used to make that. Because it was phenomenal. The sounds inside that, Phil, come on, honestly, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it sounded like it had a lot of in-the-box quality to it, but it was fantastic. But whoever did it was a really good musician, because it had like flavours of prog rock about it. In fact, I've written here, accomplished musicianship blends prog rock flavours with avant-garde rhythms that conjure up images of a dystopian neon boulevard, sort of in Blade Runner or some sort of film like that, or Total Recall, with all of the neon. I could just imagine being in a car driving down the boulevards with this music going in the car. Fantastic.
If it all goes wrong, Phil, you can just turn into a narrator of some sort and just do like nighttime books. I could listen to you all night just describing things like that. It's extraordinary your way with words. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much.
Feels quite right. There's a face in the room looking very confused right now. We've been joined by Matt Garnett after that song as well. What on earth is going on here? Yeah. We're not on the Newman 480. We're just rambling. What is going on? I'm sorry, Matt. I know you've joined us when we've actually got off that ship. So I'm sorry about that. You had a good listen to that song too. I'm sure you agree with Phil. That was an amazing music, wasn't it?
It certainly sounded wonderful, and I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Well, indeed.
When the show goes out, I'll hear it with everybody else.
Shiobi is a guy called Lori Maval, and he's from Finland. And I've known him for a couple of years. Again, I think it was a Bandcamp. When you search around Bandcamp and you find some musicians, I thought, I liked him, so I connected with him. And it's just the first time we've had him on our show, so which is great. I could hear sort of like influences of Eric Wallow, Rich House, Tangerine Dream, Jean-Michel Jarre, very space music. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we get a lot of the Tangerine Dream and space music type of stuff on this show, which is wonderful. It's the stuff I love, and there's a couple tonight which have been Tangerine Dreamy as well. They really are. Yeah. I mean, superb choices as always, and thank you very much for bringing them on. And we have got Matt here. We should introduce Matt. Matt is Matt Garnett, sword swinging robot, the amazing sword swinging robot that we've had on many times in the show before. I'm not sure we've actually had you on personally on the show before, Matt. Have we? I can't remember.
I was on one of the ones in season 1 before you took flight into the universe. And before
season 1, yes,
season 1, the heady days of season 1.
Season 1, you'll remember.
But yeah, it's great to be back on the show. I've long-time listener, second-time collaborator, or whatever.
Well, it's great to have you back on, and we're back on for a reason as well, because we've got something quite amazing that the Only Human community have put together, haven't we? So do you want to just talk us through a little bit about what you've been doing with that and what's kind of been happening? Yeah,
the Only Human, over the last few years, we've kind of come together and released 3 albums now for charity. So we had the first one back in 2019. We did one last year, and we've just released the 3rd one. And I say the 3rd one, but it's actually a double album this time, because we had 19 amazing submissions from the community. And listening to them, it kind of felt like, rather than put one giant album together, we had 2 kind of distinct, really great listening experiences. So we've imaginatively titled them 3.1 and 3.2. They're kind of like 2 sides of the coin. So if you're fancying a bit more kind of upbeat vocals, big synth lines, 3.1. And if you're in a more of a experimental ambient sort of place, 3.2 is just, they're both fantastic. I'm really proud of them, I have to say.
You should be. They are amazing. And the artists that have been involved in this whole thing are phenomenal. Which are you on 3.1 or 3.2 Martin?
I'm on 3.1 with Phil.
I'm on 3.2.
And with Matt. Yeah. So we're the 3.1ers, and you're the 3.2ers.
I am a 3.2er.
You are a 3.2er. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be put as ambient, but
I said that, and then it was kind of like, well, we've got. There's one from Ian Edgington it's just a pure chilled old school track, and then I think your track, it fitted so nicely at the end just to give it a little bit of kick before we then went off into Dan Shot's amazing almost defies description, the last track to close the 2 albums. So I'll have to check that out.
We'll come on to 3.2 in another one, but Dan Shots, it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. He gave me a little preview of that before he released it, and it is an utterly phenomenal track. Right, Martin and Phil, though, just give us a little bit of a view from you guys. I mean, if you could just pick two or three, and I know it's horrible to pick tracks out of it, but just pick a couple of favourites out of there. What are the ones that you would like? Right, I'll listen to that again and again and again.
Well, that's a difficult one to choose. Obviously, Marianne's kicks it off, but again, I shouldn't really sort of mention hers. But it's difficult. Yeah, it really is difficult. And that's why we put a preview together of the 10 tracks, not to try and highlight one or the other. But yeah, it is tricky. And I've also, again, I've got involvement on the 10th track as well.
There's some fabulous stuff on there, and everybody's raised their game.
The production on both albums is just, phenomenal.
I think so. Yeah. And it's one of the things that I think coming together, part of the reason for doing these albums is that having that outlet and giving people kind of a chance to showcase their stuff alongside other people, I think it gives you that extra kind of inspiration where you really want to make sure that you want to bring your A game to it and make sure that I think it inspires and elevates the whole album. And I know, I've spoken to a few people and, said that this gave them a push to finish a track or to get back in the studio and that's fantastic. And the results speak for themselves. We've got just 10 tracks on 3.1 and each one is entirely unique and it is truly just the voice of the personal people who made it.
I'll tell you what, let's have a listen to the preview that Martin's put together, which is fantastic. So thank you very much for doing it, Martin. Let's have a listen to 3.1 album from Only Human. There's some amazing stuff in here. Let's just have a listen and we'll talk on the other side.
Only Human 3.1.
Nothing disguised in their strategic away days. Walk away from that job. Walk away. And they don't know walk away, for they think that they do. And you can leave walk away. You can walk away and you can walk away. That the time has come and they will tell you that you shouldn't do that, but they would say that, wouldn't they? And they will miss you, but not till you're gone. When you walk away, when you're moving on, walk away from that. Walk away.
archaeology and send a picture to your family. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Still have emotions, giving you love and devotion.
What a fantastic selection of tracks. I mean, really, just what a fantastic selection of tracks. And again, with any of those artists there, probably the best place, I guess, to go and find them is probably Bandcamp, isn't it? Just go and have a search on Bandcamp from the artist names.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody on the album has their own stuff up on Bandcamp.
But anybody
it's a wonderful place to go.
But anybody wanting to buy the album, Matt, they go to Bandcamp for that. But there is a very, very good cause that sits behind all this, isn't there?
Absolutely. So yes, we're available at onlyhumanmusic, all one word, .bandcamp.com, and you can get 3.1, 3.2, and you can also pick up the first 2 albums as well. They're all there as Name Your Price, so you can download them for free. That's absolutely fine. You can, if you can, and you'd like to donate, then all proceeds are going to CALM, which is a mental health charity, the Campaign Against Living Miserably, which is a fantastic charity. It's something that we've supported in the past, and we're really proud to be able to continue to support. And more details on that is it's thecalmzone, all one word, .net.
Brilliant. And again, an extremely worthy cause. So please, as Matt says, download for free if you can't afford it, but please, if you can afford to contribute, then it's a wonderfully worthy cause. So please do. Nice everybody's contributions towards that. Matt, you've done an amazing job with all that. Thank you very much indeed for putting all that together and getting everybody involved in it and keeping the community going, which is the main thing. It's just amazing. It really
pleasure
is. And it's, well, over lockdown, it's been a tough time for a lot of people, but music has kept them going. Creative music has kept them going. And things like this, projects like this, where people can get together and actually feel an achievement out of something, and something that is actually produced, released, and actually is there for people to buy, is an amazing thing, Matt. So it's a great cause, but it's also helping the people doing this. So everybody, please support this. It's a wonderful thing to do. Talking about a wonderful thing, Matt, as well, there is a wonderful thing coming up because we have your new release coming up. Matt, what's it called? What is it?
This is my new track called Tomorrow, where I went a bit techno. And a bit of acid techno for you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, you certainly did. It's
had a garage in there as well.
303-tastic, I think I wrote down there at some point or other. I tell you what, let's have a listen. We're going to come out the other side. Matt's going to leave us. Matt's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt.
Great job on the album.
Great
job on supporting fantastic charities and people. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Let's have a listen to Matt's song. This is Sword Swinging Robot. This is Tomorrow.
Years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine what you'll know tomorrow. Imagine what you know. decent enough. We're just trying to make it work. Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good deed. The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. Imagine what you know.
Well, that was the sword swinger himself, Matt Garnett. What a song. What a nice guy. And he's putting he's doing all that stuff and producing music. He is a lovely fella, Matt. He really is. It's always a pleasure to chat to. But what a piece of music he's put in there. That was Sword Swinging Robot Tomorrow. But I tell you what, that guy does know how to put a tune together. And I tell you what he also knows how to do. He knows how to put a 303 in, and he knows how to use it well. He really, come on, Phil. Phil, look at that. Phil's got that knowing look on his face.
It was there, wasn't it? Near the end. Came in perfection, as usual.
Which is better than the other week when I said, did you listen to the 303 and that? And you said no, because it wasn't in there. And then I spotted afterwards that you were quite right, it wasn't. So at least it was actually in there this time. So but what a piece of music, Phil, wasn't it? As always, from the Sword Swinger.
It was, Let's cut you, isn't it, to the bone. That
I've written that in my diary that day. Phil said. I look back on that.
Phil set me up.
Yeah, I'll read that back to my grandchildren. And then that day, Phil said the 303 wasn't in there.
Yeah. I've got something to say about Matt before I go into his track and the whole sword swinging robot thing. And I don't know if anybody agrees with me. He's building up quite a funky little brand there. Yeah. The sword swinging robot brand. His little robot-y man that he has He's doing stuff out in the alfresco performances he does, his little dances. his signature dances he does to his vocal samples, and of course the legendary 303.
Fair play to him on that. I mean, I don't think I could do that in front of my gear, but he's going to get a bit of a dance groove there. He's bopping away, isn't he?
Yeah, you can have a go, Martin. You can have a go, Martin. It might be fine. You never know. Give it a try.
Not with my hip.
Oh, that's true. Not with your hip and your toe.
Or my toe.
On your back.
My back.
Yeah. Actually, tell you what, stay seated.
Yeah.
That'd be the best thing. Yeah, that'd be the best thing all around.
You see, I'd have a go, but here's me. It doesn't look right.
That's great radio. It's great radio.
Yeah.
Phil did a mad face and put his hands towards the screen and looked thoroughly mental. But that's how he looks throughout most of the show.
That was a happy Monday's dance.
That's revenge for the 303, isn't it?
It was like Bez in 20 years. It was lovely. But it was an amazing piece of music there, wasn't it? I mean, he is a talented guy, old Matt. He really is. And
very
talented. Fantastic pieces of kit he uses there. He's got loads of electron gear and he's using there, Martin, isn't he?
Yeah. I've seen him. He's come to our house and set up, and how he programs and that. It's beyond me. I still want to get to that point where I could do something simple like that for hardware from a guy who does door work. But it's just brilliant how he actually gets it all programmed together. And there's a bit of obviously there's a live element of he's got his synthesizer in the corner, so he plays either live strings or live arpeggiates with his keyboard.
It's amazing, it really is. And there was a fantastic voice sample in there as well. And we were just chatting as the song was playing, saying, "Crikey, we wish we'd asked Matt before he left."
Yeah,
where that voice sample was from. Was it from a film?
Yeah, it was marvelous.
Because he on his album Shake the Universe, that was taken from the film June, I think.
Okay.
But I say again, this must be something from another film, but I'm not sure.
Shake the universe as it goes in the song. Absolutely. It was an amazing piece of music again, Matt. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for your just for your kindness and warmth in doing all the stuff that you do for Only Human and also for Puls8 and also to Modulate and everybody else. Superb guy, everything he does.
Top man.
We support Matt. So again, Matt's I think got a fantastic Bandcamp page, isn't he? So I think it's swordswingingrobot.bandcamp.com, I would imagine, Mark.
I think so.
More than likely.
We should have asked him.
Yeah, we should have done, really. But he has, and he's all over the internet and all over YouTube and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, he's a superstar, and certainly will be a proper big superstar in the future, I'm quite sure. Thank you very much indeed, Matt, for everything you do. Right, okay, we're going to move on and stop rambling. Well, I'm going to stop rambling. Next up, we've got, I tell you what it is.
Rambling man.
Do you know what it is?
Martin's Monster.
It's called
It's Martin's Monster. That's right. That jingle popped in there somewhere during that slightly paused introduction to it. But it's Martin's Monster. Crikey, Martin. Your monsters are becoming bigger and bigger. I'm not sure if that came out quite right, but that's the way I'm going to say it. But it is an absolute whopper. This is, I'm going to hope this pronounces correctly. Thierry Holweck. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where's Thierry from? Let's just do a quick intro before we play the song, and we'll chat about it.
Thierry Holweck is from Lyon in France.
Oh, this is an amazing song. Let's just play the song. This is Thierry Holweck, Shelves. We'll chat about this on the other side. Wow. Thierry Holweck. Shelves. Martin, quite often your Martin's Monsters are big, big tunes, big, massive things. This one was a lot more downbeat, a lot. It wasn't
more
what
minimal.
I was expecting, more minimal. But I've got to tell you, this one touched me in a different way. I can honestly say any song we played on the station before, this was beautiful. There was I couldn't even write sentences to this. This was just words I had to write to this. I just wrote beautiful, tearful, raindrops, soulful. That's all I could write to this. It was just
beautiful was my first word as well. Yeah,
utterly amazing piece of music. So how did you come across this?
Again, I think contact through Puls8 sent me gave me a link to his album, which is called Ballet, and I've listened to a number of the tracks on there, and it is astonishing in the sound. I'd say I found it really difficult to try and choose a track to play from the album because I couldn't make my mind up. But obviously, Shelves was stuck out. It's got these beautiful sort of mallet sounds on it, and it's so different. I can't even pinpoint what it sounds like really. That's why I chose it, because it as the monster, because how different it is, and it's amazing.
It is amazing, and again, I kind of expect the Monsters each time to be big, massive dance tunes. I don't know why I expect that, because it's like, God, it's my monster. But sometimes it just needs to be an amazing piece of music, and this was an utterly amazing piece of music, and something I was not expecting, and something that I can honestly say I've just enjoyed so much, and I've listened to about 4 times. It was utterly beautiful and heartwarming. Come on, Phil, wasn't it? You've got the words for this sort of stuff.
Well, I'll just read you what I wrote down, which this is the stuff that's sort of going to go in the Gonzo online music magazine. If you guys out there want to find it, gonzo.weekly.com, I think it is. But anyway, so what I've written, because it is a beautiful track and difficult to put into words, so I said, float down a jacuzzi river of fizzing and bubbling synths to a lagoon of tranquility before completing the journey under vapor trail skies.
I'm done. I'm going to leave. I can't compete with that.
Oh, that's just astonishing. So, after that piece of music and those words, what else do we need to do? Let's just go and have a big cuddle together. Wasn't that just
in the jacuzzi?
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's make some bubbles in the jacuzzi.
I can't afford a jacuzzi. I have to make my own bubbles otherwise.
Lovely. Well, you've got the baby shem, Martin. We'll just dip in with the baby shem. We'll be away. What a lovely piece
That's
of
right.
Well, we need a drink with this one, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. This is going to be a tricky one. Martin, come on. You've said it. You must have had something in mind.
Oh, well, as we're in France, absinthe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good choice.
I'll go with absinthe black. I mean, absinthe black is more drinkable, just about. Only 70% proof, compared with the green liquid is about 90% proof. So we're going absinthe black.
It's a good choice, Phil.
Well, as we're in France, I'm going for good old champers with them bubbles and the fizz. Go with the jacuzzi and creating those bubbles in there, however they're created by magic.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go completely left field, and I'm going to have a very, very chilled glass of water with ice in it, because I'm just going to chill out, relax in the most relaxed way I possibly could and listen to this song. I wouldn't want to sully it with any other type of...
dash of lime in there, maybe?
No, Martin. Good God, no. How dare you? No. Just all on its own. I wouldn't want to sully this with anything. It was a beautiful song. Amazing piece of music. Genuinely amazing piece of music. So again, if we wanted to find more of Thierry Holwick, where can we find more of that? ThierryHolwick.bandcamp.com. Of course it is.
And I think, similar to Paul, probably, maybe a lot of that stuff was actually done on modular, because, and again, if it was, then how he gets those beautiful sounds is amazing. I mean, some of the tracks on the other tracks on the album, it does sound like a lot of found sounds on there. It is a very complex album, and so I really recommend some people going to Bandcamp and downloading the album, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Thank you very much indeed, Thierry Holwick, and please do look it up and support more of that as well. Yeah, but we've got another amazing piece of music coming up next anyway. So we've got Industrial Zoo, Toxic Water. Now, very quick question before we dive into this. Come on, give us a quick drink. Toxic water. Giving you all the clues here.
Toxic water.
I'm going to say Scrumpy.
Great choice.
A good glass of Scrumpy. Lumpy Scrumpy.
Martin.
Well, I'll have to have a German beer of some description, as we're in Germany now. No, actually, I'm going to have, because it's not too far from Germany, a beer I had in Croatia. It's called Tomislav, and it is about 7%. So I'm going to go for a bottle of Tomislav.
Okay, I'm going to go for a Quack. Kwak. Look it up if you don't know what it is. It's a Belgian beer, and it makes a quack sound if you drink it out of the right glass. That is a toxic beer. I can't remember what it is. It's like 12% or something like that. It's a whopper. Yeah. I'm quacking it. Right, here we go. This is Industrial Zoo. This is Toxic Water.
toxic water. You're like toxic water. So unpredictable and deceptive. You're like toxic water, water, water. You're like toxic water. Toxic water. Contaminated and treacherous, so hateful and dangerous. This is painful and scary, 'cause you're not necessary. You're like toxic water, so unpredictable and deceptive. You're like toxic water. It's getting hotter and hotter. You're like toxic water. So it's harder and harder. You're like toxic water. You're floating me away. Contaminated and treacherous, so hateful and dangerous. This is painful and scary, 'cause you are not necessary. You're like toxic. You're like toxic. You're like toxic water. You're like toxic water. This is painful and scary. You're like toxic water. Toxic water. Toxic
Well, there's nothing toxic about that water at all, was it? That was amazing. What an astonishing piece of music. Again, maybe it's just me. I've done a double David Sylvian tonight. That had a touch of David Sylvian again in there for me. Maybe a little bit of Bauhaus. Maybe.
Yeah, Bauhaus. Yeah, band from Northampton. Yeah.
What, Bauhaus from Northampton?
Bauhaus from Northampton.
Really? I didn't know that.
You didn't think they're from Germany?
Yes, of course I did.
No, mate. Northampton.
I didn't know that. I am the idiot in the room. You should know that by now. Are they really from Northampton?
Pete Murphy. Yeah, from Northampton.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's astonishing.
Someone has to come from Northampton.
Well, that's true. And it turns
I
out
did.
to be Bauhaus. So there we are. So anyway, but that was an amazing piece of music, there, wasn't it? And it was a little bit Bauhaus, a little bit David Silver, maybe. What do you think, Martin? Come on, surely.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously a great retro sound. I sort of thought, well, maybe looking at to their fellow countrymen, possibly looking back to the 80s, maybe Propaganda. That's got to comes to mind. So yeah, at the start, it's quite reminiscent of Tubular Bells. I thought, yeah, had that sort of, but in a sinister way, probably more with the Exorcist type of sound.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, was this your scary tune of the night then, Martin? Was that what you were trying to do?
Yeah.
There?
Well, yeah, it was quite sinister at the beginning, yeah, but obviously the title, yeah, it's quite sinister. But yeah, these I've got a couple of their tracks, and these guys are really good.
Yeah, they're amazing. They really are, Phil, aren't they?
Yeah. And funny what Martin said, because I've written here, The Exorcist visits, but the water splashed about ain't holy. Coffin box bass and orchestrated synths build to the possessed child's projectile vomit of defiance.
Turned out nice again. Yeah, it's
It's the sinister track.
It is, but you have got away with words, Phil. You really have. But that describes it absolutely perfectly. That's exactly what it is. But it is Martin's sinister track for the night. We're going to have to get we are going to have to get a little theme tune for Martin's sinister track. Certainly for the next show, because we've got a really sinister track coming up on the next one. Which I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell anybody yet. But yeah, it is. It is an absolute beauty. So, Industrial Zoo, Toxic Water. Where can we hear a little bit more Industrial Zoo?
You'll find them. They're not on Bandcamp, I don't think, but they've got you got YouTube links and they've got Facebook links. There's two guys, Oliver and Thomas from Munich. Frankfurt and Munich, I think. So I'm not sure. They got together about 2014, apparently. Great sort of retro sound, similar to our friend Simon we heard at the beginning. That sort of retro wave type of sound.
Yeah, but absolutely, fantastic, superb songs as always. I can't believe it, lads. It's the last song of the night. This is unbelievable.
It is
unbelievable. Look at this. Look at the sadness on Phil's face. Look at that. Astonishing. Right, okay. But we have got
a tissue.
We have got a belter to end the night off. This is absolutely astonishing. We'll chat about this on the other side. Let's just have a quick listen first. But Phil, what are you going to drink to this? So this is it's your last chance of the night. It's the last chance salon. The last bell's gone. You've got 30 seconds in there now to get this drink in. Quickly, Phil. You've got no choice other than to make a decision.
As it's Ladytron, it's got to be some sort of tart fuel, hasn't it? So I think peach.
Tart fuel. We may have to edit that bit out. But yes, that's a good choice. Yeah, absolutely good choice. Martin, what you can have?
Oh, well, if it's last orders at the bar, I'll have a pint of Peroni, please.
Crikey. Look at you, hardcore. I'll go for me 16th pint of Peroni, please. Yep, lovely job. Yeah. I'm gonna
toe.
Yeah, I'll just have a quick. I'll tell you what, barman, make me a quick cheeky Vimto and make it very, very.
I'll tell you, my toes getting worse. Even I'm thinking about all this towel.
Well, it is the end of the night, so what I'm going to just do, I'm going to sip on my extremely large cheeky Vimto. You can have a sip on your Peroni if you like, but we're going to have a listen to this. This is Ladytron 17.
They take a Polaroid and let you go. Say
piece of music to end the night off. What a piece of bookending, Martin. That was amazing. That really was. Ladytron 17. What an absolute storming dance song to end the night off. Again, where do you find this stuff from, Martin? It's astounding.
Well, some of it is in my collection, of course. You can see behind. But Ladytron have been a staple diet for me for the past 20 years.
Right.
And this, they've got that knack of sounding, they come from the 80s and I did think that they were Japanese to begin with, but they're from Liverpool.
Oh, right. Well,
how wrong could I be?
Local.
As it was playing, I was saying to you guys that this is like kind of, I don't know, is it French? Is it what? I couldn't quite work out where it was from. It has got an unusual sound to it.
Yeah, it certainly has. They are unique, aren't they? Even they are unique, but they do sound of the era of of that era, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, don't they, Phil?
Yeah. I haven't been so poetic about Ladytron because they've been about for some time. So I've said that this seasoned electronic music outfit dish up a gold-frap tinged attack on catwalk culture. A great vocal delivery by Helen Marnie conjures up visions of a Tatooine karaoke bar with a mosh pit full of sci-fi creatures of the night.
We're not worthy, are we? I think we'll just leave it to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's my pen. Putting it down and never picking it up again. There's no point. There is no point. We might as well just let Phil talk, and then we can all just listen and enjoy and absorb. I think would be the best thing. It was an amazing piece of music. Thank you very much, Phil, for those wonderful words as well. Martin, you've bookended the night fantastically. You've made some astonishing choices of music tonight.
Brilliant.
We say this every single episode. I've got to say that was one of my favourites, music-wise. That was amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's have a quick rundown of what we actually had on tonight and what Martin's chosen for us. So we started off with Trent Muller, The Mash and the Fury. What an amazing piece of Danish musical composed music. I had a creme de menthe with that one. If you guys want to chip in whatever you had on the last ones, that'd be fantastic as well. Future Perfect, Sin, Where Angels Fall. Phil had, I can't quite remember what it was.
A gin with Sin. I had a gin with Sin.
There we go. You had a gin with Sin on that one. And then we moved on to probably our good friend Paul Williams with Pearl Essence. Martin, what did you have with that one?
Oh, I can't remember now, but I'm totally done in now. All this alcohol. I've got to start taking the tablets again.
We'll move on. Then we moved on to Ocean Man Dazzled. A little bit public image limited to me, but not to anybody else. It's the usual sort of thing that happens. It was a standing piece of music there. When we moved on to Shiobi, A Line in the Sand. I don't know what synth was used to make it, but crikey, O'Reilly, what a piece of music that was. And then we moved on to our very good friend Matt Garnett, who came and gives a little introduction into the Only Human Radio 3.1 album. There's also a 3.2 available. If you go to Bandcamp, you can find both of them on there with the astonishing array of music from the Only Human community. A superb job, Matt. Thank you very much indeed for doing all that and everything you do to the community. Then we moved on to Matt's song, which was amazing. Sword Swinging Robot, Matt Garnett. It was Tomorrow. It was an absolute banger. How did he do that? He had a big 303, and it was a proper big old dance tune that you usually get from Matt. And then we moved on to Cherry Holweck, Shelves. Oh, beautiful. Teardrop, Raindrops. Utterly soulful. Heartwarming. What an utterly beautiful piece of music to choose, Martin. That was absolutely amazing. And it was Martin's Monster. And then we moved on to Industrial Zoo with Toxic Water. A bit of David Sylvian, maybe a little bit Bauhaus, who weren't from Germany. They turned out they were from Nottingham. Where did you say?
Northampton.
Close enough. Begins with an N. And then we moved finally on to Ladytron with 17. Again, what an astonishing piece of music. What an array of stuff we've had on tonight, gentlemen. It's been an utter pleasure. As always, Phil, have you enjoyed yourself? Have you had enough to drink? That's the main thing.
Wonderful, wonderful time.
Good. Oh, that's lovely. What was your favourite drink of the night?
I think it was the Baileys with the vodka and ice.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, very nice. Martin, have you had a nice time?
I'm drunk.
That's excellent stuff.
Drunk on music.
Just watch out for that toe. Just have an extra colchicine and an naproxen before you go to bed, just to make sure that's calming down a little bit there. So, right, who's going to go first? I can tell you what, Martin, I'm going to give you the chance to make it a big one. Do you want to give us your big goodbye?
Bye!
Holy guacamole. It's Martin's fright now with a goodbye. Look at that. Right, okay, Phil, can we beat that? I'm going to give that an 8.7.
Well, instead of a goodbye, I want to leave the listeners with a thought.
Oh.
A line in the sand really irritates your nose.
It's an 11. I'm afraid, Martin, you've been pipped to the post once more. Every single episode he does it. I don't know how he does it. You tried so hard this time, Martin, as well. I'm very sorry. It happens.
Hurt my throat, that did.
I bet it did. Anyway, thank you very much indeed to everybody who's contributed to the music tonight. If anybody else wants to contribute some music, we would absolutely love to play it on the show. I'm easy, RJ. So all you've got to do is send it through to, what's the email address again, Martin?
Our email address is, wait for it, puls8radio@gmail.com.
How are we spelling that, Martin?
PULS8 radio.
As in the number 8.
As in the 8. Don't forget the 8 at gmail.com.
So that's POLS number 8 radio@gmail.com. Please send it through. We will play it. Absolutely. We guarantee every single song will be listened to and will be queued up and scheduled at some point. But it might take us a little while. That's all we're trying to say. So yeah, we do appreciate your patience with that, but please do keep sending them through. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've done the goodbyes. We've done everything. I haven't done mine, but I'm going to do it now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Puls8 Radio. Puls8 Radio. Puls8 Radio.